Welcome. This is Tad. We're talking about today what you need to get going with a Pro Tools 5 setup in Apple Macintosh OS9. So this is just the basics. If you have any questions or comments, post below. I'll make a video specifically for your questions if you need it. So you will need a Power Mac G4, one at least Digidesign Mix Core card. This system has a Mix Farm card in addition to it, and they are connected with the ribbon cable that allows them to share data and have a mix bus. My Mac is modified with additional storage. I can field questions about that later. So you have the Mac, one or two cards. Those cards need an interface cable, which shows up in the back of your Digidesign interface. This is a 1622, which is only 2 outputs and 16 inputs. 16 on the back with a multiplication of 15 and 16 here on the front. This is just your digital audio converter. There's no processing done in there. It takes the audio signal and transfers it to ones and zeros, and then it goes down the Digidesign link cable right to your card. So each one of these cards allows 2 interfaces or up to 16 channels. The 1622 is a special case. It eats up both. So that card is capable on a Y splitter of doing 8 and 8, but the 1622 is 16 channels, so there's 16 channels coming out of that single card, single connector. I have another card there, so I could possibly have 32 channels coming in and out of this rig here. In my rack, we've just got a mixer for playback of the audio so you can hear yourself. We've got a MIDI timepiece AV that gives us clock sync for our Pro Tools system, not 100% necessary, and MIDI. If you want to do anything that involves MIDI, you need a MIDI interface. I've got a power strip that just powers my different items. I've got a battery backup and power conditioner. That is to protect my vintage Macintosh baby. And I've got a drawer here to hold all my goodies. And there's some fun stuff in the drawer. On the back, we have all the connections here. And it's not really that difficult. Basically, you got power, you've got your audio, you've got your MIDI, and then you've got your monitor mix so you can hear yourself. Taking a look at the cards, you can see there is a ribbon connector here. And if you look over on the front of the ribbon connector, there's going to be a little arrow. Let's see if I can get this on camera. There's a little arrow right there. And that arrow has an arrow on the card which shows you which way to mount that ribbon cable to the Mix Farm and Mix Core cards. There are several different ways that this can be done. You can get a D24, a Disk IO card. The sweet spot is the Mix Farm and Mix Core cards. These allow 16 channels in and out. They have 6 processors on them for plugins. They make a lot of power on their own. I, for a long time, had a single Mix Core card and a single 882, and I was able to make full-on rock records. Remember, some of our favorite Beatles records were done on a single 4-track or 2 4-tracks linked together, possibly not even synced. There's a lot you can do with just 8 channels in and out. If you get the single core card, your track list is still going to be very large. You're going to have a very large track depth and voice depth inside the software. I'm going to show you that real soon. We're going to fire up the system and take a look. Okay, while I close the Macintosh case, brings the fan level down on the microphone a little bit. This G4 mirror drive door already has quietish fans in it. Here's just a simple board, and you can hear the microphone of just the fan noise. So just a little tip. A board cuts your ambient noise down by almost half, and you can use your cardioid point pattern and twist that over. We're all good. I've previously installed Pro Tools already. We can talk about how that's done if you need to know. It's pretty straightforward. But the important thing you need to know is I'm prepping a folder for OS9 forms. It would be my personal DAE folder. So the digital audio engine folder, when Pro Tools is installed, it self-generates that, and it's basically empty. There's just the 16 or 24-bit mixer plugin that would be there. This 16-bit optimized plugin is the only thing that's going to be in that folder. I'm going to supply this folder to Diehard on the forums. You'll be able to just drag and drop it in, and all the plugins I use on my rig are going to be there. An extensive list of plugins. They're mixed AS, the audio suite, the real-time audio suite, and the TDM plugins. They'll be totally mixed together. The plugin settings are awesome. This is 20 years of collecting plugin settings and making them. There's all kinds of cool stuff. So basically, you just run the Pro Tools installer, rename the old DAE folder to something that isn't DAE space folder, rename my folder DAE folder, and all the plugins will be already authorized, ready to rock, with preset settings ready to go. There'll be no authorizations, no dorking with it. If you have 2 cards, all of them should work. Small caveat, some of the plugins are meant specifically for the older DSP card. You might need one of those for a couple of, like, maybe the Hyper Prism plugins, but 90% of it is just going to drag, drop, run, nothing for you to do but start making music. Let's launch Pro Tools. My rig's pretty quick. You can see it's ripping through the plugins that it's preloading. And Pro Tools is now open. We're going to open up a pre-made session. And here is Pro Tools 5 working in 2022. When you launch Pro Tools for the first time, it's going to ask you about your playback engine. And it's going to say on mix card 1, what interface, what physical digital audio converter do you have? So I have a 1622 right there. It needs to know that there's a 1622. And your options are the 882, the 882 20-bit, the 888, the 888 24-bit, the ADAT bridge, and or a second ADAT bridge, and the 1622. We're using a 1622. Small caveat, 1622 is pretty awesome because you get some trims per channel that can be preset. Anyway, the first time you launch Pro Tools, it's going to want to know, what do you got going on here? Do you want 32 voices? Do you want 64 voices? And what interface is connected? We're going to just tell it yes. And it's going to launch us back into our session. Okay, in our Windows, if you click on System Usage, Windows System Usage, it brings up a specific window here, this activity window. Let me drag this over here. And this is our mix card 1, our mix core card, and this is our mix farm card. And you can see that one of the chips is used up for your mixing environment. That gives us 32 playable tracks at once. If you wanted to put it in a 64 channel environment, it would use up 2 of those mix DSP chips and eat into some of your TDM plugins
that are slots that are available for TDM plugins. So that's your mix environment, that's your mixer plugin, and then everything else is available for effects plugins or soft synths. The main soft synth that comes with Pro Tools is going to be Virus. So this I got this with the Mix Plus bundle back in what had to be December of '99. So anyway, we're ready to make sound. All right, let's do a boot of Pro Tools. It's opening up. You can see it's loading all the plugins in the bottom there. We're going to open a session. I've already prepped this. And I've got a simple drum loop, hip hop style loop here. If you wanted to get that in there, you'd do this. Down here on the bottom, hidden, the little arrow, it pops this whole sidebar open. And then where it says audio, you can go import audio. And this is DMX Me Dog for training purposes only. So that was done a little fast. So you just go to audio, import. You navigate to where your loop or sample is that you want to drop in, or the waveform or track you want to drop in is. Navigate to which one you want. These are the regions that are currently selected. You throw it over the convert button and it goes over here. That's the list of the things we're going to convert. You tell it you want to convert it, you hit done, and it says, where do you want to put it? Well, of course I want to put it in the audio files of the folder that I'm working on for this session. Hit choose, it converts it, boom. It's in the audio regions list, ready to be drug out onto your playground here. And you can just drag it over. And there's your loop. You can just keep dragging them over. There's another copy. So if you have the selection tool selected here in the top left, you just grab it, drag it over, you got another copy. Super simple. Let's delete, select, double click to select, delete, double click, select, delete. Let's zoom in. This region has already been selected in bars and beats, and I already set the session to the length of that. So here's 1E and 2E and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. How do you like that? That is super slick. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Polyrhythm territory. All right. If you drag and drop my pre-curated plugins DAE folder into your Pro Tools, then you should have here on your inserts every plugin that I have on my rig right here. That is an extensive list that even scrolls further. So let's take this little drum beat here. Let's throw reverb on it. So TC Mega Reverb sounds great. We're going to select that from the list. Boom, it pops up over here. Here's its default sound. One of the interesting things about Pro Tools TDM is it is not rendering these sound effects. They're happening in real time, and those cards are doing magic. So if you just grab like, that will ring on past when you hit play, just like if you were playing off a tape machine. If we switch this mega reverb to, say, a multi-tap tape player delay with Echo Farm by Line 6, you get something more like this. Oh, by the way, we need to beat sync that. So here's, we're in 96 BPM. Here's one measure. So what's really interesting is when I shut it off, it just keeps on playing. The kids over at JHS call that tails. Just for giggles, let's throw a Fairchild compressor on there. Set it fast, let it slam. Just got those meters just pegged. Sounds beautiful. Works great. So, in future episodes, we can do whatever you want. I can break down any section of this. I'm totally set up to do it right now. So, hit me up right away while the system is all set up to make videos and help you guys out. Catch you soon.